Hello, welcome back. Right, this week we are shutting that door. We are shutting that door and we don't have to go back to the house in the village. I've been there a few times already, but as you've just seen, we have had quite a lot of rain. It's not completely unusual, but we don't normally get it until the end of September and sometimes as far as the end of October. And considering we haven't had any rain since the early part of April, I think could have even been March, it is more than welcome. And for me, it's welcome, although it could have waited one more week because last week, well, I don't need to water the plants, and that's great because last week when I was getting the door in the back of the van, I managed to pull something in my forearm, and I heard it twang as I was lifting the door in because it's a lot heavier with the glass in it, and I didn't want to drop it, so I carried on pushing it and made it worse. So I can't even lift a bucket of water at the moment, which is no good, but at least there's a little break and hopefully it'll be healed by the time we start here. That being said, of course, now that I've sorted out the door completely now, we've got to get a hole through the wall and get the pellet burner sorted out. So James is probably going to have to do the hole. And then it's a case of clearing up. Then we'll do a little walk around. We'll see exactly what it looks like now. We'll do a before and after. And then, of course, I'm going to mention the budgets. Did we or did we not manage to get that house completely done inside of our budget we set? Well, we'll find out pretty soon. In the meantime, I'm going to dash up on the roof and make sure that there's no gaping holes because I really don't want to be starting this house with puddles inside. Right, for those of you that are relatively new to my channel, this might be a little bit confusing where I am because most of my videos up to now, at least for the last year and a half, have been concentrating in the village. This is my house, my home. I've been living here now 3 years next month in October, and I haven't really done anything to it. The house in the village, I bought that with James, my brother, with the intention of selling it, so obviously that took priority. Literally, the only thing I've done to this house really, apart from patching up the cracks in the roof, which I'll go into in another video, is paint it. Because when I bought this house, 80 meters from the road, it was October time, one of the wetter winters, dark early, the walls weren't painted, it was looking grim. In fact, pretty spooky because there's no electricity or water, or there wasn't at that point in time. And I was in the bus at the back for a couple of days before I opted to actually live in one of the rooms just through the winter time. Now with this roof, I'm going to go into more detail when I start it, but in short, we discovered a crack and it's not a good one. So either once I've had a good look at it, it's going to be removed and started again, or I can fix it. But in the meantime, as we have had a little bit of rain, I want to make sure that any of the new holes that have appeared through the summer months with the expansion and contraction, they've appeared. So I want to get those all covered with the tape. It's going to be really enjoyable to see this as it transforms, and being able to document it is a real privilege, I guess, that I will hopefully be able to share with you guys. Right, I'm going to get this tape, fill in those holes, get back to the house and get that door shut so we can start back here. You come to help. I know. I know. I was really puffing and panting when I was just talking then. Been running around the garden with the dogs, and then I had to run up the steps. As I said, this is all temporary. It's not pretty, but that really doesn't matter. Yeah, I've just put an acro up in the back door area there, so I can't get in or out. Don't know why I'm doing it now. 3 years almost I've been here and I've just done it. But while I was up there looking at the cracks and putting that tape stuff over it, which I completely forgot the name of it, I was looking at the cracks, and we are getting towards the end of the summer now. It will start to get cooler eventually, at least in the evenings, and we are going to get that rain, and I just don't want it to get worse. Now, I've been ignoring it, and now that I'm looking at it, especially with the stuff I've just put up on the walls and the roof, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have a knot in my stomach. There's nothing here that can't be resolved, but I have got this feeling that I have on every house, which is excitement mixed with, oh, I don't know, dread, self-doubt. What have I taken on? Am I capable of doing this? It's a silly feeling, really, but maybe it's just an excitement knowing that it's, or because in this case, actually, I've had to put it off for so long, and now it's reality is I'm going to be able to start it, which is in itself very exciting. But I'm not too keen on that feeling I've got right now, self-doubt. Yeah. When we get started, it'll be all right. When we get to the aesthetics, it'll be all right. I'm just not looking forward to what I'm going to uncover. Oh dear, got a bit carried away with the expanding foam. Unlike the other stuff we normally use, this is a heat flame resistant expanding foam, and boy did it expand. Hit and miss sometimes depending on the brand, but the expanding foam that I've used in the past, it doesn't sort of go that much, but in this case it's gone crazy. So we're left with a little bit of clearing up to do before we carry on. So I'm going to get that out of the way, and that's it. back home. What a weird feeling. Really weird feeling. Especially as it was mild at the beginning of the week because I didn't get to go back to the UK to see my godson get married. EasyJet cancelled the flight while I was waiting to board the plane. Really annoying because I kept the trip really short because I wanted to make sure that the dogs were okay. And with that rescheduling the following day at 3 o'clock where the wedding was at 2. So there was no way logistically that I could have got there. And yeah, so I was really gutted for most of this week, if I'm being honest, because I didn't get to see my godson. I didn't get to see my friends. Some of them I hadn't seen for 8 years. And of course, just be nice to go back to the UK for a day and just take it all in. But such is life, unfortunately. But fortunately, we have sold the house and we've stepped away from it. Okay, granted, I still got to paint that little bit around that flue thing where it came out the wall because it's not dry yet. Would have been lovely to step away in blue sky, but got a little bit of drizzle coming later, and it'll clear up next week, be warm again. Not that it's cold, but it's down to the late 20s now centigrade, so it's very comfortable. Looking forward to some trips to the beach. So 17 months plus, it was around 8 months from when we first saw the house. I remember going in there to look at a pool table and spoke to Louise. It was his cousin or something that was selling it, Louise being the cafe owner. And then James and I got together and made an offer, but it took about 8 months to get all the documents together and so on. And we weren't pushing it too much because I was just chilling out after the previous houses here, getting this sorted out. And well, it would have been nice to have had it done by May. That would have been really nice because now we are starting this house knowing that it could rain, and the roof obviously is a thing, but that's another day. We'll worry about that in the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, 17 months isn't that bad when you consider just two of us mainly doing all the work in that house. And we were let down a little bit because we didn't get to do or we had to end up doing the roof and the rendering ourselves because the people that were supposed to be doing it, one, the costs were coming in way too high and we were being ripped off, and the other guys just let us down. So it is one of those things. We learned something, I guess, at the end of the day, but we couldn't be happier with how that house looks. So I'm going to go back there this evening when it's dark. It'll be the first time I've done that, and just have a walk around. It was lovely yesterday to see it for the first time without any clutter in there, all the tools and so on. So I'm going to walk around there, turn the lights on and just take it all in. So it is the end of a chapter and we're ready to start the new one shortly. Really looking forward to that, as I keep saying. And yeah, I'm going to hopefully be able to start with some sleep behind me and feeling a lot fresher than I do now. We shall see. I didn't forget the budget. How did we do? Well, I did mention this way back in the first videos we were doing on that house. We set a budget of 40,000 euros. Now, obviously that's not our time. That's just for materials and everything, all the costs and so on of that house, excluding what we paid for the house. And well, I'm quite surprised actually, because we managed to get under budget by a few thousand or so, which was quite incredible when you consider just how much we had to do in that house. We did save, obviously, by not getting someone in to do the roof and the rendering. That's probably why we actually were able to keep it under budget. But really, all in all, we were very careful. We had to do a lot of planning. And obviously, with the state of the house at the very beginning, then we had a lot of choices. And we had to make sure that we made good decisions. And there are so many different routes we could have gone with that house. We had to fix on it and make sure that we were careful. So to do that entire house for under 40,000 euros, I think is pretty incredible. And of course, because we have worked on houses before here, we had an idea. So we were kind of realistic in the first place. But you know what? If I was doing that house on my own, you could easily add another 20,000 on top of that, because I would have had to have had people come in to help. So not bad. Yeah, it's all getting a little bit neglected here, as it's been quite a while since I've given this any attention, but that's all to follow. Thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, of course, from the very beginning, leaving lovely comments and all the support through this village house. It's been 17 months. Well done if you've been following from the beginning. That's all ended now. We're going to start fresh in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to be chilling out with the dogs, go down to the beach, just regroup, recharge, all the usual stuff. and start afresh. Yeah, I'm going to in that time though, see if I can upload the start to finish, hopefully next weekend, of the house, and then followed by the following weekend, the courtyard, and then we'll be done and dusted. Right, take care, look after yourselves. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye-bye. Come on in.